Heavy Metal Rock.
My Global Mind.
Hi, this is Mark Dean, reporting for My Global Mind web scene in the US. Lordi, the seminal Finnish pro rockers and also Eurovision winners, have been around for 20 years. They are set to release their 6th album, the unusually named To Beast or Not To Beast, very shortly. I caught up with main man Mr. Lordi ahead of the album's release and also the UK tour.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Just a little bit louder. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I just want to talk first of all about your new album. Interesting title. To Beast or Not To Beast. Where did that originate from?
Well, surprisingly, to be or not to be, of course, but it was a coincidence. I mean, the album was originally called Upgraded. I mean, the album actually went to the factory with the name Upgraded,
yeah.
and the actual audio masters and everything, and but when I was doing the album cover, painting the album cover,
yeah.
There was something that I didn't like, and the painting didn't quite work. So I wound up using a different framing, different cropping of the picture. So actually, what we see in the cover now is actually a detail or just like a little part of a bigger picture that I did, and all of a sudden the name Upgraded didn't seem to fit anymore.
Okay.
And it was Aidan, our guitar player, who said, who saw the picture and said, well, I don't understand the Upgraded anymore. I saw it should be like To Be or Not To Be. And
yeah.
Like, To Beast or Not To Beast, that's the name.
Yeah.
And it's funny that because we were not that happy with Upgraded, but that was the best title we got so far. And
sure.
We went through tons of fucking different titles.
Yeah.
So then we called the label. Oh my God, is it too late now? We get a better name, and it was almost too late to change it. But luckily we got it changed.
Okay. It's the debut of a new keyboard player and a drummer on the album.
Yeah.
What have they introduced to the sound of Lordi?
I'm sorry. What?
This is the debut of the new keyboard player and new drummer. And what have they brought to the Lordi sound?
Oh, well, at least what they have brought, if nothing else, they have brought a lot of energy and a lot of like they are young bastards. They're like
yeah.
they are just a little bit younger than the old geezers. So at least they have brought in a lot of like work ethics. That is really unfamiliar concept to us. I mean,
yeah.
Well, not really. I'm kidding, but they brought in a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm.
Energy,
a lot of focus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing. The chemistry is awesome at the moment in the band. I mean, because they're both really fun, and they're fun to hang around with, and that is the most important thing actually to be in a band. It's like, who cares what they can do, but it's like if they're good guys, yay, I want to hang with those guys.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Okay. After the tragic death of Otis, was there a point where after 20 years you considered splitting up the band?
No, I never did. No, absolutely not. But there were actually people in the band at the time who thought that we should actually clear the calendar for a year. I mean,
sure.
Because people react differently to sorrow and sadness and all that, and shock. So there were actually a few members of the band who thought that we should clear out the calendar and cancel everything for a year. Because that's how struck down they were. I never thought of that even as a possibility, not in the slightest. That was never ever in my mind. I started, pretty soon. I started already like asking for new drummers and trying to, get the word out. But I know, but this is just me. I mean, people have different ways of, dealing with, sorrow and loss.
Sure.
But I feel like Otis would have definitely been the first one to give out the, phone numbers. Hey, you should ask this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
He would have been the first one to give out the new drummers. Phone numbers and contacts.
Okay. How does the latest album differ from Babes for Breakfast? I think you touched on it earlier with the introduction of a newer element of new younger band members, and there seems to be a new level of aggression with the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, the leap is quite quite big, isn't it?
It is.
Especially from our softest album, which is Babes, I think. That is the softest album so far, and definitely To Beast is the hardest one so far, or the most aggressive one. I mean, yeah, I know that the leap is quite big, but the funny thing is that we could have, there were so many. I mean, all the options were in the air and they were all open. I mean, we could have done a follow-up to Babes, which would have been like completely along the same lines as Babes.
Okay.
Really 80s, really hair metal, really soft AOR kind of stuff. Or we could have done also a really, really, really more brutal and metallic album that what it is now, because we realized that when we were selecting the songs, we realized that we're in a bit of a weird situation where we need to think about how should I put it? I mean, if you do an album, you shouldn't completely change everything. I've been using this example that if AC/DC would put out an album, they couldn't do like a disco album.
Sure. You have to retain your own sound.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to have a certain amount of traditional melodic stuff on the melodic album. So eventually we found the balance of doing like 3 or 4 more traditional sounding melodic melodic songs, and then the rest are a little bit more in the new vein of little bit more aggressive riffs and stuff like that. But the funny thing is that we cut out the extreme ends on the demos. I mean, all those songs that were more more towards the extreme aggression, all those songs were cut out this time, and also all the softer ones, the extreme softer ones songs, they were cut out too.
Sure.
I mean, so this is like a mixture in this is like the average.
Yeah.
Like samples from the middle, but we were really enthusiastic and really curious to see that the reaction from people, and especially reactions from the fans, and especially from the diehard fans, at how will they react to these new kind of sounds and experiments that we've done with the new album. So who knows? I mean, that might actually give us an indicator of what we're going to do on the next one. We could go a lot more harder direction, a lot more aggression, or we could go back and do a fucking jazz album, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Just talking about the new album, I wonder if it's possible to take you just briefly through a track by track, sort of run through the album. Just basically give me a little bit about the story behind the songs, how they were brought together, and things like that. First track up, We're Not Bad for the Kids, We're Worse. How did that come together?
Well, that is actually one of those songs. That has a riff that started the whole new musical direction of this album. I mean, the riff there, the main riff of the song, was one of 3 riffs that Eamon wrote based on Otis's drum patterns in the summer of 2011, I guess, and that was the first time that I wasn't the one who wrote the first notes for the album. This was the first time it was someone else, and it was Eamon and Otis who did that, and there was what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's pretty much like Eamon's ideas there. I mean, he only has to riff there, and but he also had the idea to let's start an album without the intro, because we usually have this SCG thing in the beginning of the album. And he said, well, why not try something that's a little bit something different? And at that time when that song was written, of course, Otis was still alive.
Yeah.
So we thought about having a huge drum fill in the beginning, and it was also Eamon's idea to have me screaming there, like I would be getting killed, So yeah. As far as the lyrical context, it's you know what it is. It's like, come on.
yeah, self-explanatory, I think.
Sorry?
It explains itself, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, next up then, I Love Ugly. How did that come about?
Let me try to remember. That's one of mine, and actually Mana's favorite songs. Has been since the demos. We actually had a little bit of a debate and fight over that song. That was something that for example, Michael wanted to take out from the album. He didn't like that much, and neither did Dogs in the beginning. I mean, there were few people who loved that song, like myself, and there were other few people who didn't like that song at all when we were recording it, but it turned out great. I mean, that's one of my favorites, definitely. And I Love Ugly. That I actually had a dream. I think it was like last summer when I had a dream that Kiss was releasing a new album, and the album was called I Love Ugly, and spelled like that, L-U-V. And even though I knew that the new album was going to be Monster, but anyway, I had a dream like that, and so I was like, hey, that's actually cool. I Love Ugly. That's a good title.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay, next up, Dead the Riff. That's the first single of the album.
Mm-hmm.
The Riff.
Oh, the riff is something that's one of the first songs that I've ever written. The lyrics first and the music then, up to the lyrics, and there's a bit of an interesting story behind writing that, because it was exactly today a year ago, like 12th of December, when I was writing the lyric for the riff, and originally the lyric started with the line, "I got a call from Mr. Death this morning," and I was writing that in the evening, and the next morning I got a call that Otis is dead, and after a couple of hours, I opened up my laptop again, and what do I see? The first thing that's on the screen, left from last night, it said, I got a call from Mr. Death this morning. So, I knew that we gotta use that lyric now, and that goes without saying, because it was so spooky, that was so Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I was like,
certainly.
But it's funny that it's actually a label that chose this to be the first single, and we're fine with it. But actually, the funny thing is that we probably, this song wouldn't have been the band's choice, not to even we wouldn't have even been playing this live on the next tour.
Okay, really?
Unless but because they chose it as the first single, we were like, oh, okay, so I guess we have to rehearse it.
Yeah, sure. Certainly. Okay, next up, Something Wicked.
Something Wicked. That's an Eamon song, basically. I mean, he wrote it already for Monster and Dream, and it didn't go there, obviously. And I guess we tried it again for Dead Ache, and we recorded the demo for that, and it didn't go for Dead Ache either. But this time, when we re-recorded the demo for Something Wicked, everybody gave full points. Yes, this is now finally Something Wicked found its home.
Okay.
And the outro of that song is something interesting. When we did the demo, we were just fooling around with the riff, and just like jamming, and and we thought that we didn't really know how to end this song. So in the studio we were doing the same thing, just jamming, and for endless, times, and just that one stupid, simple riff.
Yeah.
And we actually started liking it. This is quite, weird. Let's keep it. Because it's quite hypnotizing. I know it's annoying also, but it's also quite, effective when it just goes on and on and on, and the motherfucker just won't stop. So yeah, and definitely a live piece. Definitely gonna do that one live.
Okay. I'm the best.
I'm the best. My favorite song probably on the album. This was me trying to write a riff that could match up would be in the same category as the riffs that Eamon wrote.
Yeah.
Like in the the other riff actually from those riffs that Eamon wrote in the summer of 2011 were the riff of the riff.
Yeah.
The part there. That was the other riff, and so that was me trying to match up, with what he was doing. And I love the lyric, I love the cockiness of it, and I mean every word of it. I mean, and I hope that people will find a little bit of boost of self-esteem there, because nobody can be better you than yourself.
Sure.
I mean, nobody. I mean, you have to be proud of yourself and who you are, because no matter what you do, people might tell you you're wrong, or you're stupid, or you're crazy, but you're you. You are you, and nobody's gonna do that job better than you. So that's definitely a live song. I love that. I love that song.
Right. Just touch on briefly on these, because I realise probably you've got a lot of interviews lined up. Horrification then next. Horrification.
It's the softest song on the album. That is, I guess, that's the most traditional Lorde song on the album.
Yeah.
In my mind. I mean, I was about to cut that out. I mean, that I felt for the longest time that song doesn't belong on this album. It should have been okay on Babes, but not on this album. I lost the vote, so there it is. I don't get me wrong, it's a great song. But, for the longest time, it just felt to me that it's on the wrong album, it's the wrong punch. I mean, now I'm starting to understand its place there.
Yeah.
It's a song about it's a song about a horror fan. I mean, I'm just trying to it's against censorship, really. I mean, because it drives me crazy when people are, blaming the horror movies or for horror genre, like books and comics and video games and whatever.
Yeah.
If they do stupid things. But of course, there's a lot of twist there in the lyric too. The guy actually did all those things. But I mean, it's a great song, and I like it. But
again,
I'm gonna play that one live.
Again, there's another clever wordplay with the next title, Happy New Fear.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about clever, but pretty. I don't know about clever, but wordplay nevertheless.
Yeah.
That's an old song. That's probably from 93, 94 or something.
Right.
I like it. There's the main riff is actually from Ox, and what else? It's a subtle song, so we really felt that this song should be on the album, and there was a lot of debate on that one too. That should it be on the album or not? And I'm glad that it is there, because it's definitely a live song too, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Schizo Doll then next.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? I mean, that's of course now obviously it will be like Hella's signature song in a way,
sure.
Even though the song was written and the title of the song and everything was done way before. I mean, she joined, it's I don't know what to say. I mean, it has interesting drum patterns, within the Lorde world. I mean,
sure.
There's new things happening there for this band, definitely on the riffs there. in song, and even though the melodies and the harmonies are pretty traditional Lordi, but it's a new approach, and it's actually one of the first songs that was pretty sure that it's gonna be on the album. I mean when we were doing the demos, that was like one of the first ones. So yeah, this is a keeper, definitely.
Okay. Final couple of tracks in. Candy for the Cannibal.
Okay, that's an old. I guess this is the oldest song on the album. This is from 1991.
Okay.
Well, what can I say? The main riff, the opening riff there, was supposed to be the opening riff of the whole album. I mean, I thought that this song or a song with this riff should be the actual opening of the whole album. But that was before We're Not Bad for Your Kids was written, you know. So I thought that, you know. So I had the idea to start the album kind of like with we always started with Get Heavy, you know, with the guitar.
Yeah.
So that was the idea at first, but yeah. This song is also, you know, melody-wise, it's in a more traditional Lordi line.
Yeah. Okay, Sincerely With Love.
My favorite. We thought that this should be the first single of the album.
Okay.
Definitely. You know, I mean, it has a chant and it has a lyrical context that everybody can, you know, sing along.
It would be a very good live song.
I mean, I definitely a live song, yeah. And I was actually thinking when I was doing that, I was thinking about that. What could I do with a song that you know, when you're playing at a festival, that everybody in the audience would want to join in and sing.
Yeah.
You know, even if they would fucking hate the Lordi, what would, you know, get them along?
Sure.
You know,
sure.
Okay, well, if you're pushed to sing "Fuck You, Asshole" and you can sing it to the band, I mean, so that means that everybody's singing. So this is actually like a really sophisticated experiment now next summer. You know, I'm going to see at the festivals, you know, how does this experiment work? Do the people in beer tents, you know, hundreds of meters from the stage, do they start singing along it to us, you know, because they hate this fucking clown band of, you know, monsters from Finland. So if they do, you know, it's a success.
Yeah. Okay, finally then, the final track, it's like an Otis tribute, would you describe it as, or how would you describe the final piece?
Yeah, SCG 6 Otis. I mean, yeah. I like. Well, it's a two-part thing. The first part is Otis's drum solo backing track that he made himself. You know, all the sounds and all the stuff he recorded himself. And so we decided to use that. We just added some extra soundscapes and some stuff. And obviously there were no drums because he was always playing the drums live on top of that. So we did some extra, you know, sounds there to make it as a whole. And the second part of that song, if you can call it a song, because it's a weird, you know, hybrid. It's drum solo from Paris, from Babe's tour that he recorded himself, and we found it literally in the very last like minutes for it to make it on the album. I mean, it was Eamon found it on his on Otis's, you know, computer files, and we never knew that he recorded that one drum solo, you know, there, but he did, and so Michael did the best he could do, you know, to dig it out from there and try to make it so unfortunately that was the only thing that, you know, was never left for this band from his playing. You know, luckily we are lucky that we have that.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, just finally a couple of questions. Looking back now on your Eurovision success, how do you view that? Did that help your career, or is it something that you found actually had the opposite effect?
It did help, obviously. I mean, the whole Eurovision, it was a good thing. You know, the going to Eurovision was a good thing, but I think that our biggest sin, in the eyes of many people, you know, our biggest sin was to win the whole thing. I mean, Eurovision as a competition and going there was only a positive thing, but the negativity comes from don't think that the whole idea of us going there, was a bad thing. So it's weird. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about Eurovision, but I have bad to say about people who,
Yeah, it certainly was different from the typical Eurovision sort of music.
Yeah.
It gave Eurovision a kick up the ass.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
Okay, just finally, your forthcoming tour includes a date in Belfast. After obviously the tour was cancelled last time, I think it's your first time here. Is it important that after 20 years, Lordi still continued to explore new territories?
Yeah, of course, obviously. I mean, we are thrilled to go there. Yeah, of course, it's important to go.
Sure.
there are not that many places left anymore. For example, we've never been to Australia or South America, but now, we can cross, Belfast at least from the list.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you, my pleasure.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Belfast. Thanks very much.
Come and chat with us then.
Well, indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Lordi, for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.